Why do so many people not like our president?
Well, Mary Lou, there is quite a few reasons, but the main thing is I think being a president is really a hard job, and you have to make a lot of decisions. Sometimes people just don't like the decisions that the president makes.
Is it because he's a Negro?
Well, there probably are some people who don't like the president because he's black, but I don't think there's a lot of those kind of people. Most people who don't like the president just don't like his policies.
Policies? What are policies, Poppy?
A person's policies are simply what he thinks is the right thing to do, Mary Lou. Like if you think it's right to be nice to other kids and to feed your dog Skipper every night, that's your policy.
Oh, I get it. But it doesn't seem right to dislike somebody because of their policies.
No, Mary Lou, it isn't. Just because you don't like what a person believes or what he wants to do doesn't mean you should dislike the person. Some people you like a lot may want to do things you don't agree with, right? Like if your brother wants to tease Skipper, just because you don't want to tease Skipper doesn't mean you don't like your brother. It means you just don't like his policy, understand?
I guess so, but sometimes my brother's policy really makes me mad. Like he's keeping a Spider-Man lunchbox that he borrowed from Bobby. He says that Bobby is rich and has lots of money, so he doesn't need the lunchbox. I know Bobby has more money than we do, but is it okay to keep his lunchbox?
Well, of course not, Mary Lou. Just because Bobby has more money than you and your brother doesn't mean you can keep his property. You need to tell your brother to return the lunchbox. But even if he doesn't, you'll still like your brother, right?
Yeah, but keeping that lunchbox is wrong, and it will make me really mad at him.
Exactly, Mary Lou. Just like there are lots of people who think some of the things the president wants to do are wrong, and when he does those things anyway, it makes them mad.
Like, what does the president want to do that some people think is wrong, Puppy?
Well, the president doesn't like it that some people in our country don't have very much money, and others have lots of it. He thinks that's wrong, and he wants to change it.
Well, I think it's wrong too. It's not fair that some people get to have lots of money and be rich, and other people don't have enough money to even have good clothes. I feel sorry for poor people like that, don't you?
Yeah, I do, Mary Lou. It's natural to feel sorry for people who are suffering because they're poor. The question is, what do we do about it? You think that giving some of your money to some of your poor friends like Tommy, you think that would solve the problem?
Well, sure, why not? I don't have much money to give, but some of my friends do. If we all gave some of our money to Tommy, then he could have better clothes, and we wouldn't miss giving away just a little of our money.
Well, that's true, but what happens after Tommy spends all the money you and your friends give him? He's going to be out of money again, and he'll be poor again. Then what will you do? Ask your friends to give him more money and just keep on giving him money?
I see what you mean. If my friends keep giving money to Tommy, it's going to take a lot of money. I bet my friends will start to get mad.
Yeah, but let's think about this for a minute. How did your friends who have all this extra money get the money that they have?
Well, some of them get allowances, and some of them have after-school jobs.
Okay, so some of them come from families that have more money to begin with, and others who don't live in such a family get jobs and earn the extra money they have, right?
Right.
Okay, but what about your friends like Tommy who don't have any money? Why don't they have any money?
Well, I guess they're just poor. I mean, their families are poor and don't have any money to give to their kids.
Do any of these poor kids have after-school jobs?
I'm not sure. No, I don't think any of them have after-school jobs.
Oh, okay, so your plan is for you and your other friends who've earned extra money to give some of the money to kids like Tommy who don't have very much, and then everybody will have some money, right?
Yeah, I guess so, but something doesn't seem right about that.
What doesn't seem right?
Well, the kids who have a little extra money mostly earned it by working jobs, while the kids who don't have any money were playing. It doesn't seem right for the kids who have worked for their money to have to give any of it to the kids who haven't worked at all.
I think you're onto something, Mary Lou.
But what about my friends who can't work? Ben is crippled and he has to go straight home after school. He needs a lot of medicine for his asthma. What about him? He's poor and there's not much he can do about it.
Yeah, that's a good question, Mary Lou. Most of your friends that want to could probably earn some extra money for themselves, but a few can't. Maybe it would be a good idea to try and help those kids out a little, don't you think? For instance, maybe you and your friends could help pay for some music lessons for Ben. He loves to play the violin, but he can't afford to pay for the lessons. Maybe if each of your friends and you gave 50 cents a week, you could pay for Ben's violin lessons, and you'd still have enough money left for yourselves. Does that seem like a good plan?
Yeah, it does. I think we could all pay about 50 cents. Well, except for Roger and Ginny. They make a lot of money working after school and on weekends. Roger even bought himself his own car. I think Roger could pay a lot more than 50 cents a week, and Ginny could too. She has a great job working for Dr. Wilson, the veterinarian. She makes a lot of money.
I see what you mean, Mary Lou, but Roger works a lot more than just after school, right? Doesn't he work on most weekends as well? Isn't that why he has more money than the rest of the kids? Because he works harder than the rest of the kids?
Yeah, I guess so. I know he usually has to work when we all go to the movies on Saturday night. Yeah, I guess he works more than we do. That's why he has more money. But what about Ginny? She could pay more than 50 cents a week easy.
Well, it seems to me, I remember that Ginny had to take some classes at the junior college to learn how to handle animals, give them shots and things like that. I guess that after she took those classes, she learned how to do some things that helped Dr. Wilson run his vet business. So he paid her to help him because she was valuable in his business.
Oh, I get it. Ginny and Roger have more money because they did something for themselves to earn more money. Roger works more hours, and Ginny learned how to be a vet's assistant. But still, they could afford to help out a little more than the rest of us kids because they do have more money than we do, right?
Well, that seems right to me, I guess, and to you too, but I would say what really matters is if it seems right to Ginny and Roger. Do you think they would agree to pay a little more than the rest of the kids?
I don't know. I'll ask them. If they don't want to, I suppose it's up to them. The money they have is their money that they earn. It doesn't seem right for us to just make them pay more to help the poor kids, does it?
Well, people have different views on that subject, Mary Lou. Remember when we were talking about our president? I said that some people don't like his policy. In the case of your friends, our president's policy would be to take money from your friends who have more and give it to your friends who don't have as much. The more your friends earned, the more he would take, and the more he would give to the poor kids. He thinks that's fair. Other people who don't agree with him get mad when he does it.
Well, that doesn't seem right to me. Roger and Ginny have more money because they worked harder to get it. Why should anybody be able to just take it and give it away? It seems to me that if you did that very much, pretty soon Roger and Ginny would get mad. They might stop working so hard because they wouldn't be able to keep enough of the money that they earn. That for sure is not fair. So what are we supposed to do about the poor people like Ben? Just ignore them and let them be poor all their life?
Well, what to do about poor people has been a problem for every civilization since forever, Mary Lou. In the past, some people did just what you said. They ignored them, let them be poor all their lives. That hasn't ever worked out very well. Other folks have tried your first idea, give them money. But you saw that this won't solve the problem because giving people money only makes the people who have to give their money away mad, and eventually they'll stop working so hard. Also, the people you give the money to will eventually spend it all, and then they'll be poor again.
So what do we do? What's fair?
Some people think that what's fair is to make sure everybody is able to earn as much money as they want. And I agree with these people. I think that so long as everybody is able to work harder like Roger, get smarter like Ginny, then it's fair. If you allow Roger and Ginny to keep the money they earn, they'll spend it, and that helps everybody. You said Roger was able to buy a car. That means that Mr. Henry at the gas station makes more money from the gas he sells to Roger. Mr. Abrams at the insurance company makes more money because Roger has to buy insurance, and so on. Jenny makes more money, and you know she plans to open her own veterinarian clinic someday. And when she does that, she'll provide jobs for more people in town who would like to work and make more money. And the more different people who earn extra money, the more opportunity there is for still more people to get a job. On the other hand, if we'd just taken more and more of Roger and Jenny's money away, none of these things could happen, and things would have no way of getting better. The people who are willing to work harder to have more money actually help everybody. So long as there are enough jobs for everyone who wants to work, things have a way of working out for all. The best way to make sure there are lots of jobs is to make sure that the people who create those jobs by working hard are allowed to keep enough of the money that they earn. That way, each person can decide for himself if he wants to have extra money or not. If he does, he can work. And if not, he doesn't have to, but he'll have less things.
That seems like a good idea, Poppy. Why doesn't somebody try it?
Well, somebody did, Mary Lou. Somebody called Washington, Jefferson, Franklin, Adams, and those other guys you learned about in your history class at school.
Gee, did it work, Poppy?
It sure did, Mary Lou. In fact, it worked great. It worked so well that the United States grew from a bunch of pilgrims scratching out a living on bare land to the most powerful, prosperous nation there has ever been in the history of the world. It worked better than anybody could have dreamed.
So if that's true, Poppy, how come we have so many poor people in America?
Well, I think it's because we've had a lot of presidents who have the same policies as our president. They believe that taking more and more money from the rich people and giving it to the poor people will solve the problem. But just like you said about Jenny and Roger, these people eventually get mad. Then it becomes harder and harder for people who want to do the extra work to be rich because the government keeps taking more and more of the money they earn. So then there are fewer new opportunities for others to work hard, and everything just starts to go wrong. It makes more poor people and less rich people.
It seems like we need more people working and making money and less people not working and taking money. If everybody started working, would we get rid of all the poor people, Poppy?
I doubt it, Mary Lou. Nations will always have poor people and rich people. The best we can do is to work hard to make sure everybody has a chance. If there are enough jobs for people to work at, then it's up to each person to decide if they want to work, have more money, or not work and have less. The more people work, the more work there is for people. But as you now see, not everybody thinks this is the way it should be. Not everybody has the same policy. Our history shows us that letting people keep their earned money leads to the best answer. It makes more jobs for more people to work and become rich. Others, like our president, think it's better to just take more of the money rich people earn, give it to the poor people so they won't be poor.
Oh, now I get it. People who have worked hard to get more money get mad when the president takes it and gives it to people who don't work hardly at all. Now I understand why so many people don't like our president. Thanks, Poppy.